A high income can make you look rich, but only ownership can make you wealthy. There is a difference between income and wealth. A high salary does not make a person wealthy. It merely gives him the opportunity to become wealthy. A salary is an excellent beginning, but it is rarely the destination. A salary is payment for time. Time is limited. No person can work more than 24 hours a day. Even the hardest working person will eventually reach a limit. No matter how skilled you are, your day will never become longer. Anyone who sells only their time is always exchanging a finite resource for money. That is an excellent way to create security, but it is rarely enough to build substantial wealth. The real transformation begins when your income is no longer dependent upon whether you worked that particular day. Imagine two persons. One works 8 hours a day and is paid for every hour worked. The other works just as hard, but at the same time builds a business. After several years, employees at the business are doing their work. Customers continue buying. The systems continue operating. Revenue continues to flow. The difference is not that the second person worked harder. The difference is that he built something that continued creating value even when he was no longer working. That is where wealth is created. A salary pays for today. Ownership pays for tomorrow. This does not mean that a salary is unimportant. Quite the opposite. For most people, a salary is the first source of capital that makes investments possible. The first objective, therefore, is not to leave your work. The first objective is to use part of your salary to build assets. Every amount you spend is gone. Every amount you invest can begin working for you. Your salary is the fuel. Your assets are the engine. Many people, however, fall into the same trap. As soon as their income increases, they immediately raise their standard of living. As a result, a higher salary does not produce greater wealth. It simply produces greater expenses. They earn more, but they own no more. Wealth is not determined by how much money passes through your hands. It is determined by how much remains and continues to create new value. Seneca wrote that the poor man is not the one who has little, but the one who constantly desires more. The same principle applies to personal finance. A person with a high income and high expenses may be far more financially vulnerable than someone who earns much less but owns substantial assets. Freedom is not found in income. Freedom is found in independence. The day your assets are capable of covering your living expenses, something fundamental has changed. From that day forward, you work because you choose to, not because you have to. That is true financial freedom. The Stoics often spoke of independence. They did not mean that a person should withdraw from society. They meant that we should never become slaves to things beyond our control. The same principle applies to money. The person who depends entirely upon his next paycheck is more vulnerable than the person who has built multiple sources of income. It is not about greed, it is about freedom. Your objective, therefore, is not to earn the highest possible salary. Your objective is to use your salary as a tool for building something greater. Businesses, investments, real estate, patents, software, books, music, brands, licenses, assets that continue creating value long after the original work has been completed. This does not mean that everyone must become an entrepreneur. A skilled physician, lawyer, or engineer can also build substantial wealth. The difference lies not in the profession, it lies in how income is used. The person who consistently converts part of every paycheck into assets gradually builds a life in which capital works alongside him. The person who spends every amount he earns must begin again from zero each month. Musonius Rufus taught that we should use our resources wisely. Today, the same idea can be expressed in financial terms. Give every amount a purpose. It either improves your life today or it works to improve your life tomorrow. Never allow your money to remain idle. There are people with exceptionally high incomes who never become wealthy. There are also people with entirely ordinary incomes who, step by step, build remarkable fortunes. The difference rarely lies in the size of the salary. It lies in what happens after payday. Every month you make a choice. Will your income become consumption, or will part of it become an asset? Repeated over decades, that decision will shape your financial future far more than the size of your salary ever will. A salary provides your livelihood. Assets provide your freedom. Let your salary finance your life. Let your assets finance your future. Your salary is the beginning of your finances. Ownership of assets is the beginning of your wealth.